art of conversation being dead. We're going to try anyways a little bit. Everybody kind of covered everything already. But, give it a go, short go. So we started with the difference between conversation and communication. So a conversation is a talk, so that is it's a skill. It's a social skill. So the fact that you can actually communicate an idea of something that you're trying to say doesn't necessarily mean you know how to use your words effectively to convey what you're trying to say, and that's the skill that we are kind of losing. So maybe the art of conversation is not dead, but it's definitely it's dying. And this is like a while, and now on to the words. Talking.
Okay, what's your name?
Marianne.
Right, okay, what's wrong with you?
I don't know.
Of course you know.
Nurses.
Okay, listen to me. Put the paper on the desk there. Just put the paper on the desk. You stand over here. Come over here. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Can't stop. Just close your eyes and get away and just tell us what you're trying to say to us. Just tell us what you say. In your own words to say it. And you get to say it in your own language.
Okay. That's a show.
Okay. Just look at me. What are you trying to say to me?
That talking, conversing with other people, using the words. The words are your tool, and that's being able to use that effectively. It's an art like any other. So if you don't know how to use that, you are losing that skill. So I might say something to you in a very nice, and I know how to use other words, and I might describe an event, and I know how to describe that in a proper manner, and likewise I can just use a little smiley like we're talking last week, and we're communicating, but the ways we are doing it might necessarily doesn't have the same flair as using the words properly, and that's when we need and yes.
Okay, so you said loads there, you're just looking at no paper, yeah? Okay, well done. Pass over to your colleagues and let them carry on.
Okay, I'll take over.
Good stuff. Well done. Great job, well done.
Is the art of conversation dead? Yes, I think it is. I don't necessarily think that conversation in itself is dead, but I do think the art of conversation, in inverted commas, is at the very least dying, if not dead altogether. And I put this down to the technology of today and the generation born around the turn of the millennium and their over-reliance on this technology as a form of communication. By 2020, it is thought that 90% of the world's population will own a mobile phone. We all know that the 12 to 18-year-old demographic has more disposable income than any other age group, and with so much competition amongst mobile phone companies offering unlimited text to any network, texting has become a staple form of communication, and with it, I think the art of face-to-face conversation has been replaced by texting and social media. With the younger generation all being so tech-savvy, I can only see it going one way. So to conclude my segment of this presentation, I want to talk a little bit about good old-fashioned storytelling. I think that with every new generation that comes along, and with the advance of technology, the art of storytelling has been lost somewhere along the way. I think back to my granddad and his generation, and how he was able to tell these fantastical stories. You know, maybe they were true and maybe not, but who cares, because just listening to him speak would take your mind on a journey somewhere it hadn't been before. And I think this art form is slowly receding away with every new generation. So to conclude all in all, my segment, I don't necessarily think that conversation in itself is dead. It is just changing form due to the advancement of technology, but I do think the art of conversation is unfortunately dying a slow death. Thank you.
Hello everyone. I think some of you know my name, but most people don't get the pronunciation right. I want to teach you. Irish people would say Erna, but it's in Portuguese we say Airna. Just want you to think of your eye, your ear, na.
Airna.
Don't forget it. Yes, that's it. I want to ask you now to check your phones, and who is the person in your life? Could be your partner, your children or friends, who is the person that you usually text the most during the day? Do you have someone that you talk all day, you keep sending messages? Could any one of you check your phone now and tell me how many texts you sent to that person today? Could you do it? I don't need everybody to do it, just out of curiosity, just one or two of you to check and tell me how many texts you sent to that person.
I haven't checked anyone yesterday.
I know.
You got that planet, she's not playing sword.
Anybody else?
Yeah, yeah.
How many? 15?
47.
47.
Oh,
Okay.
That's the ex.
That's
The ex-girlfriend.
Did she text you or you text her?
You texted, you like?
The point I want to make is that according to a study in 2010 conducted by the University of Media, I'm sorry I don't know where it is, it must be somewhere in America, in combination with 3 other companies, they found out that most college students, they send about 50 texts a day.
I don't agree with that. 50
Average, yeah. And only 29% of those students, they prefer to do face-to-face conversation with people, but the vast majority would prefer to do text. And the issue is, when they move from college to the workplace, then things change because they will need more social interaction to do business. And college students, they text 50 texts a day. There was another study conducted by Forbes Insights that they interviewed over 750 professionals, and they said they prefer face-to-face interaction when they are doing business. And why they said that, they have, I listed there the benefits that they think, why professionals think that face-to-face is more important. They think it helps to build stronger, more meaningful relationships with their clients and coworkers, allow better social opportunities to bond with clients and coworkers, easier to read body language in facial expressions and interpret nonverbal communication signals. And they also think that it's very important for persuasion, for leadership, for engagement, to be face-to-face with people. It's like, if you think about, would you buy a car, you just call someone and say, hi, I want to buy your car, just send me the keys and I'm gonna get the car from you and I'm gonna send the money to your bank account. But would you rather see the person and talk to them and check their body language, their facial expressions? Oh, I trust this person, I'm gonna buy the car from him, rather than just trying to do on the phone or by email. Okay, and then I have another point, there are misconceptions. Those people, Nectarius Lazaris, he is the CIO of, sorry, I need to check the name of his company here. Firm called Urs Bagot. He told Forbes magazine that for him, face-to-face communication in business is not important. The video conferencing does the same, and that's his point of view. But the other people, Corey Kwan, Jin Lee, and May Wong's views, they wrote for US Matters magazine. They said that it is very important to be face-to-face with people when they are doing business. And they pointed that they maintain that many business interactions rely on empathy, connection, and understanding initiated by non-verbal cues, which is difficult to build without meeting participants, people in the same room. And just the last point I want to talk about considerations. Time. The thing they say, they justify professionals why they don't do face-to-face interaction as much is because of time. They have to keep, they think it's more effective to keep sending emails and video conference than sharing folders to get things done in the business environment. Thank you very much. That's all I have to say.
So, start off. Here you go.
I felt like I had everything, all the points in my head, and was kind of going to make sense of everything else, connect everything, and then just blank.
Okay. This chap's right behind me here, this guy, this is an expert in stress, and he'll tell you, right? He'll tell you that you're going to get so stressed that your brain, your cognitive brain closed down. That's what happened to her. Because your brain goes all that cognitive behaviour down, so you can't remember it, and you get yourself so stressed. Yeah, when you come out here, you're brilliant.
I only got to the first
Doesn't
part.
matter. Doesn't matter.
If I was white, I'd be bright red.
Yeah.
Right now.
When you come out here, you were absolutely brilliant.
We were saying that there last week.
And just don't try, and you were there going, and all you kept thinking about, wait, she doesn't need the sheet of paper. Because you speak, many languages you speak. Two. So,
3 technically, because part we understand Spanish and she could talk
doesn't
Spanish
matter.
as well.
10. Then make a difference. The point is that you're well able to talk about communication skills. You just need to get yourself into, stop getting yourself so wound up. It's like, I mean, what's the worst thing that happened to you? What's going to happen to you? Nothing. The answer is absolutely nothing is going to happen to you at all. You got yourself so stressed there that your brain actually closed down there and you couldn't even think for 3 there. Maybe you were just brilliant, wherever you were around, you were talking. Sometimes you have to just focus a little bit more, you know? I know you're really nervous now and you did really, really well, so don't go away. This is a very positive thing for you. You did exceptionally well there. If you actually do it in Spanish, would you come more comfortable?
No, this is speak Portuguese.
Okay. I'm trying to help you out here. So if you have to do it in Portuguese, would you much more comfortable?
A little bit, yes.
Okay, so you're not really helping here, are you really? Come on, what do you think?
Can you hear him first because he spoke after her?
So just remind me here, who's the next Hungarian student?
That's it. The word is not. Yeah, a bit of work to do on my behalf, you know, because I just shrank a little bit. I was hoping to maybe just kind of have my notes just as a little bit of a kind of just a back, just a glance at and then just keep it at that. But I was kind of myself just kind of reading off the notes. I mean, I went into it last week, you know, and spoke a little bit about it, like, but just doing the same thing.
We'll come back to those things.
I hope to avoid doing it.
Would you mind now or?
No, yeah, I can talk now. I know since last class, because our presentation was postponed,
Okay, so was that a factor?
it was a good factor for me. I think it was a good thing.
Good or bad? Negative factor for you and you, wasn't it?
Well, I guess so, yeah, you know, it's kind of ready to go.
Yeah. So it was good for you.
For me, it was good for me.
Yeah, I think it was bad for them though, because I think they were kind of geared up last week to do it, and then they had to go down off the high, go back up the high again. So that's, you know, it's a bit of a roller coaster motion there. Go on, keep going.
Yeah. No, I think it was fine. I don't know. It was okay.
Okay. Yeah, I think you did exceptionally well there. What do you think? The audience think there? Any comments from them?
That's good.
Yeah. I think sometimes I think when you're up here, I think you think you're worse than you actually are.
Yeah.
That's a factor. I think you think you're worse than you are, but actually it can be quite effective. Just get to mask that nervousness, that you know, and don't be standing in front of the projector. If you stand in front of the slide, you can't see the slide. You're distracting, and you need to put the slide PowerPoint properly as well. Yeah. You don't need those notes either. You're quite an articulate guy. You can speak very, very well. You can get over and speak you want to. Just believe what you're saying. Yeah. Let's start off with the story with your granddad. Yeah, and said, listen, tell you a story about my granddad. They don't call it, we've all got granddads. My granddad has no stories, but so straight away, you would have had their attention straight away. And even if you just told them a story about your granddad told, that's good enough. You know, not be all facts and figures and all that kind of stuff, you know. Sometimes it's just about the story.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
I'm slower.
Nervous.
Yeah.
Extremely
As in,
Yeah, because I couldn't understand so because you're
yeah. And again, it's the stress levels then.
Yeah.
But it's also about the race, isn't it? Get up here, I want to sit down, I want to sit down, I want to sit down, I want to sit down. And in their mind is, get it over and sit down, that's fine, that's really good, you know. So, yeah. It's just stress, it's all the stress in the system there, yeah. Anybody else? Good. You have a bit of work to do now, guys. You have a bit of work to do, but everybody does, yeah? Everybody does. But just remember, if you get yourself all stressed out and you can't even tell me why you're stressed. Makes sense, does it?
Only Phil, isn't it?
Yeah, so don't forget yourself on yourself. We're capable of doing this thing, we're capable of being articulate. You know, and the more confident, the more you stand up and be more confident about, like, you know, you start talking, you can really relax down there and say, let me tell you about my name. It's really going to just, you're going to all just kind of relax back into the whole thing again. So try to be yourself a little bit, and try, even your stress, try to get yourself in that.
Icebreaker.
Even that, just get yourself, even tell us something you do. Do whatever, just get yourself in that mode. Yeah. I hope you have more respect now for those who put
yeah,
well done.
well done.